Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Future Stars on Hidayat TV. I'm your host Hassan Shah, and first of all I would like to give my condolences to the Imam of our time, Imam Mahdi Ajalallahu Ta'alahu Farajahu Sharif.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjam.
On this very sad day. On the 8th of Shawwal, 90 years ago, the current leader of Saudi Arabia, Al Saud, demolished the very holy cemetery of Jannatul Baqi. This cemetery is very important to us because it has very great personalities buried in it. And now I'd like to go on to introduce my guests. Please could you introduce yourselves?
Assalamu alaikum, and my name is Mohsin. I'm 9 years old.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Miss Pan. I'm 7 years old.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Hussein and I'm 11 years old.
Thank you. Miss Bay, could you tell us, I've just said, what could you express more on why is this Jannatul Baqi so important to us?
Jannatul Baqi is located in the southwest of Masjid Nabawi sallallahu alayhi wasallam in Medina Munawwara. Jannatul Baqi means Garden of Heaven. Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam and the companions of the Prophet are buried in this graveyard. It is known as Jannatul Baqi due to its holiness. Samudi, Sunni scholar, writes in his book Wafa al-Wafa, Usman bin Maz'un, companion of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, the first one to be buried in this graveyard. After him he was Ibrahim, son of Prophet, peace be upon him, who is buried beside Usman bin Maz'un on Prophet's instruction. After that, others also started burying their dead here. For turning it into a cemetery, trees were cut and the land was divided amongst the tribes. Then people of Medina also started using it as a cemetery. The destruction of Jannatul Baqi by Al-Saud took place in 1345 Hijrah 1925 AD. Before getting into the depth of matter, it is important to analyze the political scenario in which Al-Saud were able to take the throne of Hijaz, now known as Saudi Arabia. Before Al-Saud, Hijaz was part of the Uthman Empire. Other regions of the Uthman Empire included approx entire Middle East, except Iran, North Africa and the rest.
Thank you, Misbah. And Hussein and will go on to talk about this day. So could you continue, Hussein?
In 1914, the last caliph of Osman Empire, Sultan Abdul Hamid Khan, sent Wahab Pasha as the governor of Hijaz and the chief of Hijaz army. British feared fighting the Osman directly could incite anti-British sentiments amongst the Muslims. Therefore, British sought help from two of the tribes of Hijaz, Abdul Aziz al Saud and Faisal bin Sharif Hussain. These tribes were al Saud and Sharif Hussein's household. Al Saud belonged to Najd in Hijaz. They were trying to capture the throne of Hijaz since about last 225 years. In 1790, they were successful in taking control of Mecca, Medina and Taif. In 1801 AD, Abdul Aziz al Saud attacked Najaf and Karbala in Iraq. About 15,000 were martyred in Karbala, and from 500 to 15,000 were martyred in Najaf by al Saud. In these attacks, al Saud stole many precious items from both the cities. Apart from this, they also murdered the visitors of the holy shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam in Karbala. Al Saud also banned Hajj for Muslims of Osman Empire. Osman Caliph Sultan Mahmud II, 1808 to 1839 AD, sent Ibrahim Pasha in 1818 AD, who attacked Najd and destroyed the Wahhabi capital Daraya. Abdullah ibn Saud was then arrested and sent to Istanbul by Ibrahim. Then in 1880 AD, Al-Saud regained power with the help of the British Empire. Sharif Hussain family belonged to Makkah and it had a lot of importance for British deputed two of their spies with the task of training these tribes in Hijaz and also provided them with money along with the coaching. The most famous spy of British history, T.E. Lawrence, aka Lawrence of Arabia, was in charge of Sharif Hussein's family. While Captain William Shakespeare was looking after Al-Saud in 1918, with the help of Al-Saud and Sharif Hussain, British were successful in finishing Osman Empire. After the collapse of Osman Empire, British had to choose one from the two helpers. From Hijaz, British chose Al-Saud. It so happened that soon after the collapse of Osman Empire, Sharif Hussain announced himself as the king of all the Arab states, whereas British worked hard for about 100 years for ending Osman Empire. Their prime objective was division. Because of this act, British lost faith in Sharif Hussain. Apart from this, Al-Saud was followers of the school of thought that considered the rest of the Muslims as kafir, non-believers.
Thank you, Hussain. This told us a little bit more about how did Al-Saud get into power in Saudi Arabia. Misbah, does this give you a lot of information?
Yes.
So now, as Hussain just said, we have learnt a little bit more about this, and now we know that the Britain sent some spies over to destroy over the Osman's empire.
Yep.
And doing that, they got Hijaz, and they imported Al-Saud to be the leader, and Mohsin next is going to tell us even more about this.
Therefore, the objective of dividing the Muslim Ummah was much easier to achieve with the help of Al-Saud. In the beginning, Al-Saud considered both Sunni and Shia as non-believers. Instead of asking all Arab countries, Al-Saud only asked for Hijaz. Sharif Hussain was sent to Cyprus in exile and was banned from entering Hijaz again. He had 4 sons who assured Lawrence of Arabia from their loyalty. Eventually, Hijaz was given to Al-Saud, and son of Sharif Hussain were given the rest of Arab states like Iraq, Syria and Jordan. Jordan was not a country at that time, but it was an area known as tribes. Jordan, which was transformed into a country and given to a son of Sharif Hussain. Sharif Hussein's family could not have govern uh, Ir-
Iraq,
Iraq and
Syria.
Syria due to civil wars. Mm, whi- Whereas the current ruler of Jordan, Abdullah, is a descendant of Sharif Hussein and serving his Western masters sincerely. British announced the end of Ottoman Empire in 1980. After becoming its rulers, Al Saud changed the name of Hijaz, a name since the time of Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. In fact, from the time of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, Hijaz was renamed as Saudi Arabia.
Thank you, Mosi. And now I will go on to talk more about this. This name had two elements. One, Al Saud's family, and two, the Arab nationalism. Soon after gaining control of Hijaz, Al Saud drew their attention towards the destruction of shrines. Suleiman came to Medina from Najd and asked for fatwa, the Islamic reasoning, for the destruction of Jannatul Baqi. He brought a questioner with him. The questions were: what is the opinion of the scholars of Medina, may God increase their knowledge, about the constructions on graves or tombs and regarding them as mosques? Is it allowed or not? And if it is not permissible, in fact it should strictly prohibited that these structures should be demolished, and people should be prevented from offering prayers near them. Apart from this, a monument like Baqi, where due to the existence of tomb structures, some areas cannot be used. This construction is equivalent to illegal occupation on Waqf reserved land. If it is like that, then isn't it important to end this practice as early as possible, so that it is deprived of his rights, gets justice? These questions were presented in front of scholars of Medina, which in prediction that they should only give the ruling which is stated in the question itself, and if they did otherwise, they would be deemed as mushrik, non-believer, and condemned. If they did not seek forgiveness after that, they would be regarded as must be killed. In the beginning, a few scholars of Medina showed some resistance, but increasing pressures from Al Saud eventually forced the scholars to give ruling as follows: It is unanimously considered prohibited to build anything over graves. In the light of ahadith, the prohibited such constructions, and it is light of these saying that majority of scholars have given the ruling for the demolition of structures and tombs. A majority of scholars have given the ruling on the basis of the saying of Hazrat Ali alayhi salam. In this regard, Hazrat Ali alayhi salam told a person, I am declarating you the task that Prophet peace be upon him declared to me. You won't see a picture, but you will destroy it. and you won't see a grave, but you will level it. This was a quote that Al Saud uses to back their claim up of destroying the tombs, but it has been proven that this quote was made up and was fake and were made up by Al Saud to back their claim. So this shows how much they went through to destroy this cemetery. And that concludes what we've just said. So you've learnt a lot, haven't you?
Yeah.
So we've learnt that the British imported spies to help Al Saud and another tribe destroy the Ottoman Empire, and then the British imported Al Saud to be the leader of Hijaz, and now they've renamed it as Saudi Arabia. And now we've just learned that they used a fake quote that they made to back their claim up to destroy Jannatul Baqi. And now I would like to go on to Hussein, and he has something that I would like to show with you. He's making a protest banner